Meanwhile, the creative product of the company sank in 91 and 92 under the presidency of the inexperienced Herd. Ric Flair, who had conflicts with Herd, once stated that Herd knew nothing about wrestling, other than the fact that the station he ran had a hot show, referring to the once popular show Wrestling at the Chase, which was broadcast by KPLR-TV while Herd was manager there. According to Flair, Herd also wanted him to drop his entire Nature Boy persona, shave his head even though Flair's bleach blonde hair was one of his most recognizable trademarks, and adopt a Roman gladiator gimmick by the name of Spartacus in order to change with the times. This didn't sit too well with Flair and the creative committee. Committee member Kevin Sullivan was quoted as saying, "After we change Flair's gimmick, why don't we go to Yankee Stadium and change Babe Ruth's uniform number?" This backstage feud hit its breaking point when, during contract renegotiation, Flair refused to take a pay cut and be moved away from the main event position despite the fact that he was by far the company's biggest draw. He also refused to drop the title to Lex Luger as Herd wanted. Herd accused Flair of holding up the company. Flair tried to compromise to Herd and offered to drop the title to fellow Horseman Barry Windham, saying that Windham deserved the title. Herd's other ideas included the Ding Dongs, a tag team whose sole gimmick was that they were obsessed with bells, the lumberjack named Big Josh who was accompanied to the ring by dancing bears, and the Desperados, a stable of bumbling cowboys. None of these ideas were received well by the rest of WCW, as they were seen by many as a poor attempt to mimic the WWF's more gimmick-oriented style, and Stan Hansen was so insulted by the Desperados gimmick that he left WCW outright when he was asked to be part of the group. Jim Cornette and Stan Lane would also depart from the promotion after having conflicts with Herd, thus breaking up the Midnight Express, one of WCW's top tag teams, and the Road Warriors would also leave in July 1990 because of conflicts with Herd. Herd was fired in January 92 and was succeeded by Kip Allen Frey. Frey's tenure running WCW was brief, and he would be replaced later in the year by Cowboy Bill Watts, who had formerly been the promoter for Mid-South Wrestling, later known as the Universal Wrestling Federation, and was the first head executive of WCW to have prior experience in the wrestling business since Jim Crockett left. 92 would also prove to be another bad year for WCW as well, as Watts would make top rope moves which were commonly performed by rising stars such as Brian Pillman and the Steiner brothers illegal during wrestling matches. This was part of Watts' plans to take the WCW product back to 70s standards, with poorly lit arenas and house shows in remote rural towns. This idea was not overly embraced by the rest of WCW after clashes with management over a number of issues, as well as feeling pressure from Hank Aaron over a racially sensitive piece of correspondence, as well as accusations of anti-Semitism from Paulie Dangerously and Scotty Flamingo, both of whom are Jewish. He resigned. He was subsequently replaced by Eric Bischoff.